every experience that we have, every feeling that we have, is a child of God yearning to come home to the open hand of love in you, in which you stop trying to reject it or hold on to it. It comes home to the lightness of an open hand. It sits lightly in the open hand. And in that, it has come home to love, as love. It means it passes through you more quickly. It means it has nothing to stick on. So the falling into openness is grace. Even though the mind thinks of it as really scary, and that my life will fall apart, what falls apart is your rigid shell of resistance. What falls apart is righteousness, self-righteousness, the positions we take, the landing places, the self-identities. What falls apart are all the erroneous beliefs about unworthiness, unlovableness, and so on. All false beliefs about being abandoned by life, rejected by life, unwanted by life, punished by life. All that falls apart. So it feels like you're falling apart, but all that's happening are the defenses are falling apart. When all of that falls away, grace can move through you. Now, grace is another one of those words or ideas that conjures up images of only good things happening to us. Expand your view of grace. Grace is the movement of life through you. In that, everything is given. Birth and death, gain and loss. All of it moves through you. When it moves through an open vessel, then all of it is experienced as the exquisite richness of life. Both agony and ecstasy is exquisitely rich. It is never to be repeated. Each moment, if we can dissect the eternal moment into moments, each moment is never repeated. Think about that. Feel that. Let it sink in. It's never repeated. Every time you reject it and deny it and say that's not good enough, that shouldn't have happened, you have rejected the gift of that moment. The fact that it's never going to be repeated. Waiting for the perfect moment. That is a siphoning away of aliveness. To truly cherish each moment, not cherish by possessing it or owning it or making it special so that you can feel special about yourself, but cherish it by just being with it, by holding it lightly, by meeting it all the way, by honouring its very existence in this moment and this moment. It means that everything can flow through you. That's grace. You live in grace, you live as grace, whether there are peaks or valleys, whether you walk through the valley of darkness or whether you fly through the heavens of light. It's all grace, all of it. And yet we miss that opportunity by creating these interpretations, these mental imaginations of how life should be, or how my life should be, or how my experience should be. Abandon or throw away all shoulds and shouldn'ts and really taste what is here. Taste it. In that way you'll be nourished by life. When we really taste something, when you're eating, you taste something, if you really taste it, it gets metabolized into nourishment, into fuel for life. So it is with life itself, with every experience we have. If we don't taste it, it doesn't get metabolized into love. It doesn't get metabolized into grace. And then there is no real nourishment in life. We go looking for nourishment elsewhere, through our relationships, through our work, through our possessions, through our accumulation of wealth or recognition. That's where we look for nourishment. Nothing wrong with any of those things. But looking for nourishment in the wrong places, in the world of form, doesn't bring fulfillment. It just siphons away true aliveness. It creates codependency. So we have a codependent relationship with life, with our life. Codependent relationship means you're seeking something in order to know yourself as something, or to believe yourself as something. You're seeking love from a relationship in order to feel loved or to feel lovable. You have made love into a commodity, something that you can give and receive. That's not love. The same with recognition or approval. We seek approval or recognition or worthiness through the work we do, or the creativity that we do. It becomes a codependent relationship, and so on and so on. When we are truly nourished by the aliveness of each moment, there's no codependency in that. There's no give and take, because there's only oneness, oneness with life itself. It's true aliveness. There is nourishment in that. Come what may, you are filled with life. There is fullness, and yet you are empty of self.